Just a friendly reminder that the opinions expressed on this show are not worth a Canadian penny, so disregard anything you hear that might get anyone in trouble. And despite some of the great ideas you may hear, don't try them at home. Go to a friend's house instead.
It's time to get a gun. That's what I've been thinking. Well, I could afford one. And if I did just a little less drinking, time to put something between me and the sun. When the talking is over, it's time to get a gun.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 168 for Slamfire Radio for August 19th, 2016. Tonight's edition is all about gun goddesses and Trevor. I'm one of your hosts, Kelly, a goddess. Lynn.
I'm one of your hosts, Adriel, not the gun god me show.
And I'm Matthew, just sort of like not a god, but maybe like an angel or something.
Pretty good. Maybe like one of the archangels or something like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
That'd be cool because Trevor loves the archangel stock, right? So, especially if you put it on like an SKS. So
we should have saved that. We should have saved that name for him, but he's not on. So
Trevor's the archangel, the gun archangel. Yay!
Anyways. Matthew, why don't you just roll right into what you did in guns this week?
I did not do a whole lot beyond Adriel sent me my gun back, so I got my Glock back,
nice.
and he sent me a 2-up match saver thingamajigger for my shotgun. I have not installed it yet, but I will be doing that shortly, and we'll start playing around with that a little bit. That'll be fun. So thank you to him.
If you want like a temporary thing, try using some double-sided Velcro and then just pop it on there. If you got some like thick 2-sided tape.
Yep, that's what I have. Really that's what I'll try. I'll try that first, and then see how it goes. If I like it, then I'll just drill and tap a couple small screws and screw it in. No big deal.
There we go.
So yeah, did that, and yeah, I'm just looking for things that I did in guns. I really didn't do much. I took my shotgun for a 4-wheeler ride, so that's a thing, I guess. I didn't actually shoot it, although I did see a groundhog, just one though. While I was out for 4 hours on my quad, I saw one groundhog. I was so much different here than the gophers in Alberta. And I didn't even get a chance to shoot him because he ran off in the woods too fast. So, no, I pretty much had a lame week in guns. So I'm gonna hand it over to Adriel, I guess.
Okay.
Well, I didn't do that much, but I hit the range, and I finally got to getting to practice what you and Trevor had taught me for one-handed pistol shooting, and it was a lot better than what it's been in the past.
Nice.
Good.
I was shooting at an IPSC-sized steel target at 50 yards, and I think that's decently far for a one-handed shot.
That is very decently far for a one-handed shot.
Yeah, and I was hitting
for a lot of people. That's decently far for a two-handed shot.
Yeah, when I first started shooting pistols, that target looked impossibly far for me, and it's not anymore. And it's starting to become not for one-handed shooting. Now, I'm not like super reliable. I can't hit 9 out of 10 or anything like that on there, but I can put some hits on target, and my misses aren't like terrible. They're not really far off of it. So I'm pretty okay with that. I think that's going to get me somewhere. I've got a match coming up this weekend for 3-gun. I think my pistol's going to do me just fine at that. So got a lot of rounds out of the FNS. I actually had one of my buddies shooting there with me, so we did a couple of the ball and dummy practice and a bunch of the different kinds of practice that you guys had taught, and it was really helpful to see what's going on and kind of diagnose some problems. So
awesome.
Sorry, I was just going to say, can you describe what the ball and dummy is?
Well, the ball and dummy is you
need Trevor there for that usually, right? Because you need the dummy. He's not here, so he's fair game, right? I mean,
I know.
All show along, he's under the bus or under the plane. Actually, if anybody's on his Facebook feed, he's been nothing but airplanes for the last couple of days. So jealous. Anyway, sorry. Continue on with the ball and dummy drill.
Well, Kelly, you had a question?
No, I just wanted to know exactly what it was.
Okay. So The idea is that you get your buddy, I'm putting like bunny ears around that, to load or not load your gun, and then hand it to you. You go away, you come back, and you've either got a loaded gun or an unloaded gun, and you treat it as if it's loaded. He hands it to you. You aim on target and you pull a trigger, and it might fire and hit the target, or it might click, and you see how miserably bad of a flinch you've got.
Yeah.
And practice on that, right? And the thing that it does is after flinching a couple of times in front of your buddy, you get embarrassed and you start focusing on that trigger pull. And then when you do get a live round, you hit whatever you're aiming at.
And
so
that's actually a big part of it, is that embarrassment that, we don't talk about that, but it really is. You don't want to look like an idiot in front of your friends. And so you start smartening up and start focusing on the front sight and pressing the trigger without letting the front sight move. That's really what you got to do.
Yeah, absolutely, and it works a charm.
Good.
So we did that. A lot of one-handed shooting. That was some really good practice. Practiced some controlled pairs on just on that steel target at 50 yards, and I'm feeling pretty good about it.
Good. That's awesome.
Yeah, shot shotgun, did a bunch of clays, practiced with that double match saver. Now I will tell you, Matthew, it's not as convenient or ergonomic as a single match saver.
Right.
With a single match saver, when you grab it, you can kind of cup it with your hand as you slide it back toward the loading port on your shotgun.
Yep.
So it's a little bit, I guess you're a little bit more in control. Whereas with this one, if you try to grab that top shot shell in your hand and slide it, you've got the bottom one there as well, so it kind of gets in the way.
Right.
And when you load from the bottom one, you're now no longer in line with the loading port. But you get two shotgun shells, so you kind of get two chances to mess up. And so if you don't like how bulky it is, just cut it in half.
Sure. Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah. But practice with that. Practice my quad loads and load twos and that kind of thing. And I'm feeling really good about that. That's one thing I've really worked on that I think I've got nailed. So now I need to work on my pistol and my rifle and get good at those.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I'm okay with pistol and rifle, but I'm terrible with the shotgun. I mean, I can shoot stuff with a shotgun, but I can't manipulate my shotgun nearly as quickly as I can in a tactical situation. It's just always been pistol and carbine for me.
Oh, and it's like you don't need much. You can if you can learn how to load two and then quad load, you can get really good at that, and you can load your anyone can shoot a shotgun fast. Shooting a shotgun fast and unloading it is really easy.
Yeah,
it's the loading
it's loading it back up that's hard. And fortunately, that's something you can practice at home. You don't have to, just get a bunch of dummy shells and you can load and unload all night long without having to fire a shot. Because, like you said, the shooting part's fairly easy. Yeah, there's a lot of recoil, but unless you're shooting slugs at distance, all you're doing is shooting birdshot at clays or poppers or whatever. And I mean, it's not difficult.
And you've got a spread on it too,
That's
so
right.
you don't even have to be right on. You just have to be in the
just
in
have
the
to
general
be
area.
sort of close, yeah.
In the same room. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. That's it. It's a big cone of death. Comes out, 6 feet in diameter, pretty much.
And I've just been printing like a whole bunch of gun stuff. I printed those double match savers. I've been printing some 5.56 dummies just for looks kind of thing. Some 50 Beowulf and other stuff. As I learn a little bit more about what I can do and what I can't do with that thing. So it's been fun.
You should print me up some Glock mags.
Oh, you know what? I totally forgot. I printed you a Glock grip plug. So you know how the grip is hollow on the bottom?
Yep.
They make these grip plugs that. Do you like them or not?
I have one. The problem is it's not factory. And so when I shoot production in IPSC, it's not allowed to be in there. If I show up to a level 3 match, well, technically if I show up to any match with that in, they'll bump me to open.
And this is why I don't shoot IPSC.
It's so dumb. So anyway, I have one, and that's great. Thanks for making one. You can send it if you like, but like I said, I've already got one, so you could sell it to somebody else or give it to somebody else who has a Glock.
You could give it to me.
They could give it to She's got a Glock.
You want one?
They actually make reloading easier.
Oh, really?
They do. It acts sort of as the back end of your mag well, and if you don't have it in, you can catch the rim of your cartridge in your mag on that little cutout where you would normally put your thumb to pull out a mag in a double feed, and it'll catch on that, and you can mess up your reloads very quickly. So I didn't realize how much it actually helped until I took it out and messed up a couple reloads and had to get good at it again. So yeah, I've got it out now, and I'm leaving it out because if I practice with it in and then I go to a match, I got to take it out, I'm just going to screw up my reload. So I'm just going to leave it out now so that I don't get bumped into open in IPSC.
Yeah, I could see that. No, after hearing from, Trevor mentioning about that guy who had the empty mag in his front pocket getting bumped to open and all this kind of thing.
Yeah, it is so. They have some of the dumbest rules.
Yeah, I like my 3-gun where we've got safety rules, but like equipment and that kind of thing is generally just
It's
open.
a bit more common sense, and that's the thing. IPSC is a very mature sport. It's been around for a long time, and so they have people gaming it, and so they have to come up with rules that have to apply to everybody just to have a level playing field. And the thing is, the rules can't be, you can't modify your gun, well, unless it's a butt plug for a Glock. Yeah, I realize I just called it butt plug.
You got that on your mind. That's weird.
I don't know why.
That's what we've always called them, just because I have no idea why, but it's the name that always sticks in my head and comes out of my mouth whenever I say it. But anyway, but yeah, the grip plug is it actually does give you an advantage, but it's not enough of an advantage to force you to have to go to open. But they got the rules, and we'd have to play by them if we want to play along.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyways, I think that's all I did. Oh, I got a chance to try out those mag pouches, and what else did I do? I took one of them. I had a Blade Tech single AR mag pouch. And I had an AR plus double M&P pouch, and I kind of swapped them around. So now I've got a double AR pouch, and I sold my M&P. So I sold that one to my buddy Will, because his wife might get into pistol shooting, or might just.
It's got the adjustable grip size, so that might fit her hands nicely. And Will's got small hands anyway; he might want to shoot it for himself.
Maybe. Yeah, but I mean, it's got a really nice trigger on it, and I've got it's all kitted out. I got 5 mags for it and a couple double mag holders, so it's good to go, right?
Yeah, now you got your FN, you don't need it anymore.
No, I only need 1 pistol. But what I do need to do now is buy a Tikka. So I've been looking. I think Al Flaherty's had some Tikkas, but they had I don't really want to get a Tikka T3 Light in 300 Win Mag, because it's a light rifle and it's got a really skinny butt pad, and I don't like the recoil of it when it's shooting 300 Win Mag. I don't mind 30-06 or 270 or something like that.
Sure, yeah, but no, when you have a really skinny recoil pad, you notice.
Said butt pad.
Yeah, I did. I called it butt pad. Well, you started it, so.
Yeah. So I mean, now I got to find a Tikka T3 Light. So I gotta look around, and luckily a lot of the new T3s are cheap because they're blowing out, because they're coming out with the T3X. I think it's a T3X. Tikka's got a new rifle out, so I'm gonna buy one of the old ones at a really discounted price, or a used one if I could find one. But you know how it always goes. Whenever new stuff gets discounted, the used guys never get the message. So, like a lot of the rifles that are for sale right now in the used market for these things are more expensive than new ones. So I might just buy new, even though,
no, they do that because they feel that they need to get their money back. That's what I paid for. So that's what you're going to pay for. They don't even care about what the market will bear. They're just like, nope, this is what I paid for. It's what you're getting.
Yeah. Unless it costs more, then they ask more.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Price goes up. Yeah, everyone's price goes up. But so I guess I'll have to get one of those Tikkas soon enough here, because November is coming quickly. So
yeah,
that's what I've been up to in guns. What about you, Kelly?
Actually, before we go on to me, we forgot to mention Trevor. Trevor's
we didn't forget. We didn't forget. We just don't care.
Neglected.
Yeah. He's playing with other people. He's playing with Rod. Another god.
Yeah, Rod the gun god.
Yes.
Gun god Rod.
Yes. Yeah. In Vancouver. So he is actually doing something with guns tonight. So, anyways, he will eventually be back. Maybe, right?
Maybe. If we let him, we're gonna change the keys, not let him back in.
That's a good idea. Anyways, what did I do in guns this week? I went to SFRC like I always do, and I picked up some 12 gauge shotgun shells, because we went out to the range on Sunday, and Kevin, my boyfriend, he had an old Kmart special. He had a Winchester, a Ranger, the Model 120, the pump action one.
Yeah.
You guys are familiar with that? Well, you know what he did with it? He
No?
spray painted it flat dark earth.
You mean brown?
Yeah. Anyways, so he painted the whole thing, took it apart, painted it all, and put it all back together. So he just wanted to check it out and see if it worked, and it does. It runs smoothly. It's really nice actually, but it's flat dark earth. Everything is flat dark earth right now. So, anyways. The other thing I did, so I took my Glock 17, Adriel, I have a Glock, and did some pistol practice because I haven't had the handgun fundamental course that I went on, the Fire Art Solution training one that Rick Woods did the day before our charity shoot. I haven't actually shot my pistol since then, so I wanted to go out and basically do some pistol practice, and wow, like huge difference even from the day that we did the fundamental course. I started out and just basically ran through all the recommendations that Rick had, and started out at 3, 5, 7, moved back to 10, and I worked on a trigger pull, and I worked on count and sight picture and focusing on the front sight. And as long as I got it at 3, I've moved to 5, then 7, then 10. And yeah, all my groupings were right where I wanted them to be, one right on top of each other. And it was really good. So I was really impressed. I learned something. So it was good. And what else did I do? Oh yeah, I fired off my 10-22 just because I wanted to practice my standing a little bit more. But other than that, nothing else at the range that day, I don't think. One of the things that we're doing as well is we're actually started up personal training, and when our trainer asked us about what we were doing and how we're actually working out, so we said, well, on Sunday we went to the range and we did some running and gunning, and so he thought that was kind of cool. So he's starting to, like last night when we did our workout, our personalized workout, he actually is developing stuff to help us with our going to the range and shooting and all that. So working on our core, our upper arms, and our agility as well, so that we can run in that. So I thought that was really, really cool. He did it specifically for us and developed it for us and that. So I thought it was really cool, because originally when we started out and I wanted to lose a little weight, get in better shape and all that, and build my upper arm, I was kind of afraid to tell him that I want to build some guns so I can actually shoot some guns. Anyways, but yeah, so I thought that was kind of cool too. It's not really gun related, but it is kind of gun related, because I want to get better shape so that I can shoot better in that too. So it was kind of cool in that. And I want to be able to carry Daniel Shaw, 100 meters as well.
Yeah, sure,
so.
Absolutely. You can do that. You probably could.
Well, you know what? I think by the time you run a Daniel Shaw course, I'm not saying I'm coming, but if it does happen, maybe I will try. So
awesome.
Yeah. So that's it. That's all I did with guns. So want to do events?
Who?
Me. You. Anybody?
Me? You? Somebody?
Somebody.
All right. Well,
or you could do it.
We finally got a hold of James W. He won, and he emailed us. So congratulations, finally. And as soon as Trevor returns, he'll send out your SKS doc. After Trevor's done with it, of course, because you understand Trevor loves it and doesn't want to let it go, because he's going to buy a bunch of SKSs and try it out with it, right?
Absolutely.
Probably not.
No.
The 2016 CNSCA Sporting Clays National Championships will be taking place at the Wapiti Shooters Club in Grand Prairie, September 1st to 4th. The FAST Active Killer Defense course will be held August 21st in London, and Rick is also doing an urban pistol course in Barrie, Barrie, Ontario on September 17th. The Practical Shooters of Canada, proud to announce the first Canadian Precision Rifle Series. It's going to be happening at the 4th Canadian Division Training Centre just outside of Meaford. The Meaford Long Range Steel Challenge is going to be held September 2nd through the 4th. The 2016 Algonquin Cup will be taking place at the Eagle Lake Gun Club in Sunridge, Ontario on September 18th. August 20th, 21st, Earl Green of Phase Line Green Tactical will be at the Regina Wildlife Federation for a 2-day carbine course. Brian S. sent in, Valkyrie Defense has a counter-ambush concepts course in Battle Creek, Michigan on October 9th. And he also sent in an Appleseed Project is having an event at the Coshocton, or in Coshocton, Ohio, September 10th and 11th. So maybe if you want to do an Appleseed, you can check that out. And Handgun Fundamentals 1 and 2. And that name is probably going to change by the time it rolls around. It'll be held July 15th and 16th in 2017 in Alberta. So people have already sent some emails for signing up. So if you want on that list, you should send an email fairly quickly because that list is going to fill up soon.
Right. Do you know how many spaces that you have for it? Or are you deciding that right now?
I think we will do the same as this year, and we're going to cap it at 15.
Okay.
So we ended up with 17, but that's because we had we didn't have to, but we felt that we should toss in a free course for the range owner and for Will, who helped us out by allowing us to stay at his place. So it was a fair trade.
Yeah. Okay. So in the news, Jason Phelps sent us in something. It was a 53-year-old man from Cochrane has been charged with unsafe storage for a firearm after someone broke into his car and took a .357 revolver from the center console. It happened Sunday while the vehicle was parked out front of the man's home in Bow Ridge Road, and police believe the vehicle was left unlocked. So on that, maybe he should have locked his car and not stored his revolver in the car. What do you guys think?
Yeah, we have safe storage laws for a reason, right? And if you don't follow them and your gun gets stolen, that's on you because you should have been following the safe storage laws.
Yeah, there's a couple of details missing here. Like, there's no details on whether it was locked in its case. Like,
True.
Did he bring it to his car and in the case locked and leave it in the center console and then go back into his house and then come out and find it missing? That isn't there, or it's just not like there's not enough information here to find out like if this was like a really bad thing where he basically had his revolver like sitting out on his console and like I don't know loaded just sitting there, or whether it was just a case of not locking his car after going back to his house or something. I don't know. I mean, that's all the detail we have, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
Who put in the one about? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it could be anywhere in between. It could be all the way from like loaded revolver sitting on the console to locked and cased and just forgot to lock the car, right?
Right. True. Who put in the one about the Alberta teen?
Oh, that's me. I'll read this one off. A violent altercation on Alberta's Frog Lake First Nation earlier this week has resulted in the arrest of a youth. They received a call. I'm just going to go right into the situation. Police determined that a 34-year-old man had been driving a side-by-side ATV through someone's property when his dog got into an altercation with the two of the property owner's dogs. The 34-year-old tried to defend his dog by pulling a sword from his ATV. A 17-year-old then appeared and shot him in the leg with a shotgun.
Of course.
So.
Well, I mean, anytime somebody comes at me with a sword, I mean, I'm getting my shotgun.
Yeah. So the 17-year-old was arrested and will be answering to charges in St. Paul Provincial Court on September 1st. So.
All right, well, I don't even know where you start. Was that Owen out there with his sword?
LARPing.
LARPing?
Don't bring your sword to a gunfight.
First of all, don't bring your sword to a gunfight. Second of all, why are you carrying a sword around in your quad? And then, I guess if somebody comes at you with a sword, I guess shooting them with a shotgun is probably a legitimate response. But oh man, yeah, all kinds of fail there.
Yeah, all kinds of weirdness. Anyways, interesting.
Mm-hmm. And I posted on our on Facebook actually that the Glock 17M, it was leaked, a picture of it. And did you guys have a chance to look at it at all?
I did, yes.
Looks like a Glock, eh?
It looks like a Glock,
very much.
But I like it as a Glock. It doesn't have the finger grooves, which I'm not a huge proponent of finger grooves. I don't particularly like them because they never match up with my fingers. The flared magwell is really nice, and it looks like, unless they've been swapped out aftermarket, it looks like though they are metal sights. So instead of the plastic sights from Glock, it looks like there's metal sights on there, which if they're coming from the factory that way, that's a huge step up from those plastic ones that they come with.
Mm-hmm. And they have the ambidextrous side release.
Oh, yes.
Sled release as well.
The only thing that they could have improved is by making an ambidextrous mag release as well. And I know you can switch it, but, you know, switching it is great if you're left-handed and only ever shoot left-handed. But, you know, if I've shot some guns that have ambidextrous mag releases, and it doesn't matter what hand you throw it in, you can drop the mag whenever you need to. So I think that's a nice feature, but unfortunately the new Glock didn't get that.
But yeah, check it out. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, looks like a Glock.
It does.
Yeah.
Looks like a Glock.
Looks like a Glock.
Yeah.
And what about the bear spearing?
Okay, well, I can talk a little bit about this one because it seems like all the new stuff this week was from Alberta. We've got a gun stolen Cochrane, Alberta. Alberta team shoots sword wielding, and now we've got this bear spearing here in Alberta. So full moon here in Alberta this week.
Maybe.
But
just in Alberta though. There was no full moon anywhere else in the world. Just in Alberta this week.
we had a blue moon. We had a blue moon here.
Sure.
No one else did.
Yeah, busy week.
I don't know. It was a busy week. Okay, so this guy filmed himself spearing a bear. He had baited the bear and thrown a spear at it with a GoPro on it, and killed it. But it's caused a bit of an uproar. I think a lot of what caused the uproar here was the showy nature, I guess, of the video. It's he's pretty showy about it. Again, he's got the GoPro on there, and like, I don't know, like some guys like this, some guys don't, but he does the like overly excited thing all the way through, kind of a thing. I would probably be excited if I speared a bear as well, but he's like really enthusiastic, I guess you could say, on the video. And yeah, some people now people are taking it as just like the Seize of the Lion thing. What was that, last year? People are taking it as an opportunity to kind of like rag on hunters and say, oh, real hunters don't, and then throw whatever you want to in there. Real hunters don't use bait. Real hunters don't kill bears. Real hunters don't whatever the thing is, right? I mean, it's the one true Scotsman argument applied to hunting, and you're seeing a lot of that now, even within the hunting community. This is the part I don't mind when anti-gun, anti-hunter people complain about us hunting, because that's in their nature. That I don't care about too much. It's when other hunters start ragging on other hunters because they don't agree with the kind of hunting that they're doing. Like this in particular, I've seen a couple of other spear hunting videos where other people go out there and spear hunt, and so to get an idea, you need to get very close to your game to make this work. So that's you can bait a bear, or you can I've seen deer taken with spears, but so it's an incredible amount of time that you need. With a bow, you can hit something 20, 40 yards away, no problem. But with a spear, that's very difficult. And whereas with a bow, you need to move very little. With a spear, you need to move a lot. And so it's a very unique kind of hunting. I don't know if I'll ever get into it. I'm just still working on archery, and that's still good for me. But some people out there want to do it, and I think if they can do it humanely and effectively, fill your boots, kind of a thing, right?
Absolutely. I mean, we've been killing animals with spears for thousands of years. I mean, what's the animal's still dead, and it still goes down fairly quickly with minimal. It's still very humane. So what's the difference if you stab it with a spear, or shoot it with a bow, or shoot it with a gun? I mean, dead is dead. As long as it's quick and ethical, then I'm fine. I think I'm humane, but whatever.
I think the kind of guys that are out there spear hunting are going to put a lot of effort into making sure that they're going to get their hit, and more so than there's a lot of guys out there who never shoot their gun until it's hunting season. They go out and they might wing a shot at a deer that's way beyond their capable range, or from a poor rest, and wound a deer. And I think those guys wound hundreds of more animals than this guy with the spear, for example.
Do you think people were more upset about the fact that he was baiting the bear?
I saw, I think I saw more people upset about that part. But I mean, that's varied, right? It's a case that it's legal in some areas, and there's good reasons why it's legal. It's legal because they have too many bears, and they want to give hunters more of an advantage. Because I mean, hunting a bear without baiting it is pretty hard, right? They don't just don't just appear and like walk around the woods a lot. It's not like the rut with deer, where during the rut they're all over the place, right?
Yeah. Hey, you know what? We as kids we used to go to the dump, watch the bears. So, anyways, on that note,
cool too, I guess.
Yeah, it's New Brunswick. Okay, what else do you do on a Saturday night, right?
I don't know. I really don't know. Like you said, it's New Brunswick. That is our entertainment. Go watch the Bears at the dump.
Yep. Anyway, so main topic tonight.
Bring your spear next time.
Okay. Main topic tonight is the government sent a response to the AR-15 petition. So we wanted to actually cover that. They also sent a response to the petition as well for property rights. We were hoping to actually get our property as a charter rights. But anyways, so the response that the government sent back about the petition that was sent out, is it Mark Barrett? Who actually started the petition?
Sure.
Either of you remember?
I don't remember.
Okay. Anyways, it was started to actually change the AR-15 from restricted to non-restricted. And the government sent a response. Was it yesterday or the day before, you guys? Do you remember?
Again, I don't remember. I think it was the day before. But not that the listeners care, because they're probably listening to this a week from now anyway. Or maybe even a year from now.
I was just going to say, or a year from now. Anyways, the response the government gave was the government thanks the petitioners for their representation. Yeah, representations. The government believes in balanced and effective measures with respect to firearms that prioritize public safety while ensuring law-abiding firearms owners are treated fairly under the law. The government has committed to getting handguns and assault weapons off the streets and to strengthening controls on such weapons. The government is committed to putting decision-making authority about weapon classifications back into the hands of police, not politicians. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police is responsible for the technical determination of classification of firearms in accordance with the criteria stipulated by the Parliament in the Criminal Code. The Criminal Code regulations prescribing certain firearms and other weapons, components and parts of weapons, accessories, cartridge magazines, ammunition, and projectiles as prohibited, restricted, and non-restricted list the Armalite rifle, the AR-15, as a named variant of the restricted M16 rifle. The AR-15 is restricted because of its lineage to the military-issued M16 assault rifle. The government has no intention of using Section 117.15 of the Criminal Code to change the classification of the AR-15. That was their response. So
basically, in summing it up, they're saying that, no, we're not going to do anything. We're going to let the RCMP continue to do this. Because we're just the politicians. We don't make the laws. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, you do.
And they did. That was a liberal law that they put in place. We don't make the laws. The RCMP is really the technical people that are responsible for this. We put it into the criminal code originally, but it's the RCMP that does this kind of thing.
With the liberal majority government, I don't think we could have expected anything else except this response, unfortunately. But it was good that we did it because we at least got our voices heard. But. It makes sense to change the AR back to... the thing is, it makes sense to change all rifles back to non-restricted unless they meet the qualifications of a restricted. Having named rifles, it does nothing to improve public safety because I don't care what name the rifle is. If somebody's getting shot with a gun, they're getting shot with a gun. Who cares what it's called and where it's from? Just because I have an AK-47... doesn't mean that I'm going to be more prone to violence compared to if I only had an SKS. Like, what's the difference if I have an SKS
or a CZ858 or something like that, right?
Or CZ858 or VZ, yeah, exactly. So who cares what gun it is? But I think they truly believe that. I think they think that, if somebody has an AK-47, they're going to have, they think that that's a big, bad, scary assault rifle, and so people are going to be more prone to using it in violent situations, when in reality, people who are violent use whatever they have at their disposal. They don't care what it's called.
Yeah, it's interesting that they use the term assault weapons in here as well, because it's a made-up term, right? It doesn't have a clear definition, so they're just using a kind of like a catch-all term to describe what they want to do.
Well, yeah. I mean, if they call it an assault weapon, then they can. Nobody's going to want to de-restrict an assault weapon. That would be silly. So of course they're going to call it that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Very
then soon
irritating.
enough, our Mini 14s are assault weapons, and
Yep.
our 1022s are assault weapons, and everything's an assault weapon, right?
Yeah, and then after that, they're all sniper weapons. And so they got to get rid of all the sniper weapons. That's all your bolt actions with scopes. Oh,
Yep,
now we got to get
high-powered.
rid of our street sweepers. Those are all your shotguns. Get rid of those. Those are too dangerous for public safety. And it just
What's
keeps
Australia call them? Rapid loading. That's what they call their pump shotguns.
Right.
Rapid
Really?
loading shotguns.
Rapid-
Have they
loading.
seen somebody load one?
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
well, that's what they were complaining about when that lever action came out. Was they're saying this is a rapid firing shotgun. This should be restricted because it's rapid firing. Anyways.
Yeah.
Do you think that the petition? So there was over 25,000 signatures on the petition. Do you think the petition helped in some ways at all?
Well, if nothing else, it may have helped other gun owners be able to talk common sense to their coworkers, their friends, and families. It gives them an opportunity to talk about guns with other people who may not be familiar. And if we got 25,000 signatures, I could probably bet that some of those are somebody's mom, somebody's sister, somebody's brother, somebody's uncle, whatnot. And so if they were willing to sign it, then perhaps they've sort of maybe, if not come to our side, at least remain neutral and are now a bit more educated because this
Yeah.
petition went out. And so, yeah, I think it's a good thing that it happened. It wasn't the result that we wanted, but I think there are probably thousands of people out there now who are aware that an AR-15 it's not an M16. It's not an assault rifle. It's just another semi-automatic rifle, same as a Mini 14 or any other semi-automatic hunting rifle that's out there.
And when you're talking about talking to other people, when you're talking AR, people who are not educated assume that's assault. It stands for assault rifle.
That's right. AR must
Yeah.
stand for assault rifle, right?
Yeah.
Nope.
So they're thinking, let's ban it.
Stands for automatic rifle. Nope, doesn't stand for that either. What does it stand for? Awesome,
Armalite.
awesome rifle. Yes, it is awesome rifle. You got it. I think everybody knows who listens that it's Armalite, but
Yeah.
just in case they don't, it's not awesome rifle, although it should be.
It is pretty awesome, though,
I like the AR.
Oh yeah.
too.
It's unfortunately restricted, which
Yeah.
means I can't hunt with it. Not that I really do much hunting anyway, more like armed hiking. But man, be awesome armed hiking with an AR.
So I had a conversation recently with two ladies that I work with, and I work with those that are legally challenged. Anyways, so these ladies work with them as well.
Legally challenged. I love that. Carry on. Yes, sorry.
Anyways, so we were walking around our work area at lunchtime, and the ladies were talking about, well, recently down in the United States, a group of girls were raising some money. They were raffling off an AR-15 for a trip that they needed to go to some, I think it was a softball team. Anyways, so they were raffling off an AR-15 for this trip, and there was a pastor that bought $3,000 worth of tickets so that he would get a rifle, an assault rifle off of the, away
the
from
streets?
the public, off the
Yeah,
streets.
yeah.
And he was going to destroy it. Anyways, so they were talking about this, and they were going, why would anybody want an assault rifle? This AR-15, it's a black rifle. Why? It's awful. Anyways, and I let them talk about it. I wanted to get where they were, coming from and all that. And then I turned to them and I said, well, I own an AR-15, and the jaw dropped a little bit and everything like that. And then they started asking questions. Well, why do you want it? And why do you need it? And I said, I don't need it. I do want it. I said, they're a restricted firearm. And I said, I go to the range with it and I shoot it, and I like to shoot it at targets, and it's fun to use, and it's, and so I started talking to them, and they started to ask questions and everything like that. And by the time that we were done our 5-kilometer walk, they were going, holy cow, and I was inviting them to the range and all that. And it is going from, why would anybody want it? And looking at one of their coworkers and saying, holy cow, she owns one. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And she's not a bad person.
And that's it, right? And I've managed to do the same thing with people too, where they get to know me first, and then they find out that I'm a gun guy, god, if you will, gun archangel. No, we're beyond that, I think. And they're like, oh, you're such a nice person. Why would you own guns? Like I've had people say that to me. It's like, wait a minute. You mean if I own guns, I can't be a nice person? You really have a skewed perspective of gun owners, don't you? And anyway, yeah, no, I've been able to change people's opinion on firearms just simply because the way I behave in public, and I'm not a maniac, but most gun owners aren't maniacs.
No.
And I think too many gun owners hide the fact that they're gun owners. I think we need to be more vocal. I think people need to be a bit more proud that they're a gun owner and share that information with people to make it more widely known that gun owners aren't gun nuts. We're not nut jobs. We're not wacko. We're just everyday accountants and lawyers and school teachers and everything else that regular professions, and just happen to enjoy firearms as well.
That's exactly it. And that's one of the things that Tracy Wilson, that's what she was trying to do.
Who really is a gun goddess.
A gun goddess.
That's right. That's how it all started off.
See, we're segueing into that one.
It's like we planned it. But everybody should know that we plan nothing on this show.
So Tracy Wilson was recently in the Ottawa Sun, also the Ottawa Citizen. Well, it's been picked up by a lot of people, actually. And her face was right on the cover, and it said Tracy the Gun Goddess. And she was talking about basically Canadian gun owners. And so did you guys get a chance to read it at all?
I didn't actually read it, but I saw the picture, and I saw some of the comments and stuff. So good on her for getting out there. But it's a great way to draw attention to yourself, and it brings out the nut jobs. It's funny, the wackos are actually the people who don't own guns.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was a really, really well-written article. It was quite balanced, and it asked her some questions, like why do you have guns? And she's saying, it's my hobby. I'm a woman. I'd like to be able to actually even conceal carry to protect myself. But yeah, it was very well written. And it was around the time of the 1022 magazine issue as well. So they asked her about that, and she said, well, you know what? We should be able to actually have them as well. And you're right. It was the Ottawa Citizen that started it, and there was a tremendous amount of comments, both from pro-gun and anti-gun people as well. And people were basically, some of them were sparring, but other people were listening, like I commented on a lady's post, and she said, I love all animals and guns kill animals, so I don't like guns. And so I actually said,
well, I love animals, but cars kill animals, and so I don't like cars. Well, nope, doesn't make sense. Sorry.
Well, I said to her, I respect the fact that you actually don't want to own a gun, and you're not going to go hunting or fire a gun, and that you love animals. I said, I do too. And I said, but I also, I like to shoot as a hobby. It's something that I like to do. I'm good at it. And I said, and I would hope that you would be respectful of that, and I said, most hunters, I said, they're very ethical, and I said, we have a long history of hunting and supplying food for our families and that. I said, I don't hunt, but if those people choose to hunt, then that's great. They're providing for their families, and they're ethical. They'll bring down usually, their whatever they're hunting within one shot. And I said they share it. And I said some are Aboriginal, and they even give thanks for the animal giving its life so that they could feed their family. I said there's a whole, I said it's not people just going out and shooting animals for the fun of it. The majority of hunters actually, they'll share the meat, and it's very ethical. I said, but yeah, and then there's the other people who just want to go out and shoot targets and have fun. I said, that's my choice, and I hope you respect that. And then I said, oh, and by the way, I rescue dogs in that as well. And she commented back that she thought that was great. So she could see, two sides of it, right?
Well, that's good.
Yeah. But there are people that are going to.
The thing is, most people who are anti-gun get all of their information from the media, and so they're getting a very skewed perspective. That's the second time I've used that term this show. That's going to be the term of the show, I think. A skewed perspective on guns and gun owners, and so they're going to be very negative. But I find that a very simple, logical discussion will often turn many people, and maybe not turn them, but at least show them our side.
Yep.
And that's the key, is not getting emotional, not getting worked up, not getting angry and start swearing and yelling and cursing and all that stuff. Just nice and calm, just like you did.
Yep.
I love animals too. Of course, the correct response after that is, I love all of God's animals on my plate with a side of potatoes and mashed.
Yeah, I was just going to say it's a steak.
But yeah, no, you can love animals and still shoot guns. Heck, you can love animals and still go hunting. There's, we need to eat. We're humans. We're omnivores. Yeah. We eat meat. That's a normal thing. And so, sadly, animals. Well, it's not really all that sad, from my point of view, anyway. But from some people's point of view, sadly, some animals must die so that we can eat. That's just part of life. We accept that and carry on. But not everybody is in touch with where their food comes from.
And not everyone maybe needs to, I know what my deer ate. It ate a bunch of grass.
Well, yeah, and that's a huge part of it too. I mean, the game meat that we eat is probably some of the healthiest meat available, because they're not being fed chemicals and steroids and hormones and all the other crap that they put into farm animals. So it's actually some of the most organic, healthy food you can eat.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
We use firearms, though, so the steak that's on your table, I brought that subject up as well with somebody. Somebody was talking about, you can just go to the store and,
Yep.
get it, right?
Yeah, where no animals were harmed.
Which is absolutely true. But you know what? Firearms are used on the kill floor as well.
Yep.
So if you're steak or cow, pork, or pig,
whatever.
So it's a tool. That's all it is. It's a tool.
It's just the way to get to the animal and kill it so you can eat it.
Yeah.
I love using that. I've done that a few times, and one of my favorite times using that argument. Well, you eat meat, right? And then they go, "Oh, well, yeah." I was at work in the lunchroom eating lunch, talking about one of my recent hunts where I had shot a grouse or a rabbit or something. I can't remember what it was at the time. And somebody said, "I can't believe you kill animals just to eat them." And they were eating a roast beef sandwich. And I said, I just looked at them and then looked at their sandwich and looked back at them, and they realized, they went, "Oh, yeah." And that was the end of that discussion. Oh, it was funny.
So there's a lot of people on there supporting Tracy. It was really good to see. And they were supporting each other too. So, hunters and people who are gunnies, like competitive shooting and all that, they were all supporting each other. So it was good to see.
Yeah, that is good.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. We gave Tracy a little bit of a shout out too, because she was getting some nasty emails. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's going to happen whenever you're in the news. I mean, especially national news. You're going to get everybody coming at you. So it, you got to have thick skin if you're going to go in the media. Mm-hmm. But that's not to say, and here's the other thing, most people who are passionately against something are more likely to speak up than somebody who's passionately for it. So she's going to be getting a disproportionate number of negative replies than she will positive, but she should know that probably more people are positive about her being there and saying what she did than negative.
Yeah, and she did really, really well. So kudos to her.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. Adriel. Yes. Do you want to start us off with the first listener feedback from Patty?
You bet. And he'd actually just posted on our Facebook page here, so he already replied to the thing he asked for in the second email. So here's the first one. This one's to Trevor. I have 2 issues, and I'm hoping you can give a new-ish shooter some advice on. First off, podcast rocks, and I look forward to it every week. I especially enjoy hearing about gophers and groundhogs getting shot in the face with shotguns, exploding, or anything else along those lines.
Well, then we should definitely do more of that then, huh?
Yeah. I ended up picking up an FNS 9 to try based on all your feedback on the show. Took it out to the range for a test run, loved it, now own it. With that being said, I shoot goofy, and I'm having a heck of a time finding a holster for the FNS 9 long in left-handed. Any suggestion you can make on that subject would be very much appreciated. I'm also looking to get into IPSC, but would like to tighten my groups up before I go back to my black badge. Can you recommend an instructor within a few hours of Toronto? Really appreciate the work you guys do. Keep it up. Thanks, Patty. I'm just going to read the second one, and then we'll get to the comments. Okay, I'm an a-hole. Just caught up on the last 2 episodes, and it's all about holsters for the FNS long. I'm still interested in finding an instructor near the GTA and would appreciate any suggestions. Adriel, can you please throw a pic of your holster on the Slamfire page so I can see how you did it? Thanks, guys and girl, Patty. And I did throw up 2 pictures of that holster. And so what I did was just use a regular length FNS holster, chop off the end, and boop, now it just goes through the end kind of a thing. And I think that might be what you have to do, Patty, because getting a left-handed FNS 9 long side holster is going to be a heck of a hard thing to do.
Yeah, that's going to be a needle in a haystack.
Yeah.
Or you can get one made by Ryan McLeod from Highlander Tactical.
Good point. He could get one made by Ryan. Yeah, that would do it too.
He's in Ontario, so.
Oh, well, that's easier too. Any of you guys know any IPSC trainers in the Toronto area?
I think he's looking for a handgun course, is he not?
Yeah, so handgun fundamentals kind of a thing.
Recommended, I'd like to take my groups and go for a black badge. Well, if he's looking for a handgun course, he can go to Rick at Fire Art Solutions Training. He's
He's in London, which isn't that far from Toronto.
No, he's within an hour and a half. So
I would highly recommend Rick. Actually, I would say go to Rick. Just flat out go to London and do one of his courses because he's an excellent instructor and knows what he's talking about, and you'll learn a lot from him.
Yeah, he's actually doing the Urban Pistol course up in Barrie on the 17th of September. So if he signs up for that, he could actually learn a lot during the Urban Pistol course because he does the handgun fundamental portion of it as well. So, anyways, contact Rick and Fire Art Solutions Training.
Here we go.
Yeah. All right, Matthew, we're saving this one for you, and there's a reason why, by the way.
Okay.
It's
From Red Ranch. Yes.
Yeah.
Howdy, fellers. I was sitting on my redwood bed looking through my polyester curtains. I keep my curtains mostly shut so my neighbors can't see me looking at her sunbathing. I was listening to y'all's show. About 1:16 into the show, old Coondog jumped up and ran out my camper door. I thought he had been distracted by a squirrel, but I think it was a sign. I think y'all hurt his feelings with the redneck scumbag comment. Or I reckon it may be the anti-camouflage sentiment. I suppose it was his way of telling me to be offended too. I also jumped up and ran out of the camper. I was so mad I went around to the front and jumped in my truck. I couldn't even drive off because my keys got locked in the camper. I had to climb through the sliding window of my truck to get back into my camper, and after all that strenuous exercise, I worked up a sweat. I grabbed a beer, finished listening to the show. Y'all tell Mr. Small Arms his harsh words hurt a feller. Wearing camo don't make you a scumbag. It makes you a Walmart shopper. Parking my house in this median strip was a genius. My yard gets mowed for free. As soon as I find an axle and get my truck off these cinder blocks, I'm coming to see that feller. We love camo at Redneck Ranch. I googled scumbag. I pick morals every spring, and I always decent. I don't know what he's saying there. Before climbing in a tree stand, I ain't no scumbag. Oh, an undesirable person, one who is without morals or decency. So he always decencies. Sent from my neighbor's Wi-Fi, she never locks her trailer. With hate and discontent, love, Red Ranch. Oh, no, just because you wear camo doesn't mean you're a scumbag, but if you're a scumbag and you're wearing camo, then you're a camo-wearing scumbag. There, that's as much of a retraction as I'm willing to make. But thank you, Red Ranch, for the awesome email. In fact, I was thinking of you almost continuously last week when I was working on the go-kart with my nephews and tearing up and down my parents' property, ripping up sod. I was like, this is something Red Ranch would love to be doing right now. And
yep, with the girls.
Yep.
Yep. I'm going to be seeing him in about a month.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope to meet him someday.
He
He seems like a nice guy.
He is.
I never do anything redneck.
Never.
Except go gopher hunting.
Okay.
Wait, no, Will was the one wearing flip-flops. I think if you're wearing shorts and flip-flops while gopher hunting in an Alberta field and then you step on like a dead gopher, that's probably pretty redneck. Because he did that. That was funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, you need to do more redneck things, man. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got to say about that.
Right. Okay. All right, this one's from Ken. Hello, everyone, and Trevor. Trevor's getting a lot of kudos here. So
Yeah.
I was listening to Canadian Reload Radio all the time and was listed as a friend of the show and sent you a few gifts. Did you get any gifts, by the way, Matthew?
I don't remember. Ken didn't leave his last name, so I'm not sure which Ken he is. But irrespective of that, thank you, Ken, for anything you have sent, because we love it when listeners do that, and all of our listeners are awesome. So there, did that cover everything?
Sure.
Perfect.
Okay.
Carry on.
And then he went on to say, and then the format changed. I've listened to Slamfire Radio off and on for over the years, but I'm not into IPSC or 3-gun, but still enjoy listening to you. Just heard an older show about ARs, which is kind of appropriate because we talked about them today. And I was told I had a problem. I don't own a black gun, so I think it's time to go over to the black side, and as I only have 49 firearms, I think 50 is a nicer number.
Certainly is.
Yes. I'm looking at 3 guns as a starter gun. As a starter gun, the SIG M400 SRP, the M&P 15 Sport 2, or the Colt Expanse M4. Or do you have a suggestion? I'm trying to stay under $1,500. Ken from God's Country, Red Deer, Alberta. So, what do you guys think?
I don't think I've heard of the Colt Expanse. The M&P Sport I've heard of. That's a really good entry level AR-15 that a lot of people use. I haven't heard of the SIG M400 either. I just don't see those around a lot. I see a lot of Daniel Defense. I see a lot of NEA. I see, of course, the M&P Sports. And at the real cheap range, you've got a lot of the Nork CQAs.
Those are, for cheap, those are really good.
Yeah, for cheap, right?
Yep.
And then some DPMS stuff as well. They've got some stuff at the really low end. I don't know about 1,500. What I'd get there. I mean, I Frankenstein mine. I bought just the lower receiver, and then I built it all from parts so that I could build what I wanted, kind of a thing. So I haven't done a lot of this AR versus that AR. The other thing that makes it hard to compare them is that a lot of what you're buying is quality, and it's really hard to tell quality on an AR because they're all, it's a matter of how many QC points they have and failure rate and that kind of thing. And I think a lot of the ARs above $1,000 are pretty good at those things. So I don't even know how to compare a lot of this stuff against each other.
Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, isn't an AR just an AR?
Well,
I'm kidding.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
until you get to that crazy one that automatically drops mags when they're empty and drops the bolt when you put a new mag in.
Yeah.
Like that. That's a little bit beyond there, but I think that guy's like 3,500 or something like that.
Yeah, and if you have that kind of money, just get one of those non-restricted varmint ARs. It's not an AR.
Yeah, the modern varmint.
Yeah,
something.
modern varmint rifle.
Yeah.
But, I mean, picking out an AR is like asking somebody to help you pick out a new car. I mean, there's so many different makes, models. Of course, there's not different makes and models of ARs. They're all AR-15s, but there's so many different manufacturers and so many different little features and things that you may or may not want that, you got to sit down, decide what it is you want out of it, and then start shopping, and hopefully you find something in your price range.
Well, and above $1,000, you're not getting garbage either. I mean, below $1,000, there's a couple of bad ARs out there that, the gas keys aren't staked properly, or maybe the bolt lugs aren't checked for cracks as closely using the right kind of technology. But above $1,000, a lot of those ARs are all checked using like some really good mil-spec verification techniques. Now, I will say that if you can get a Colt, the Colt. The Colt Canada one that we can get here in Canada. That thing's supposed to have an excellent barrel on it, and that's a really great deal. There's some good, even the IURs out there are really nice. And that would be a really nice place to start. And then throw a lower on there with the trigger kit you want, and then get the stock that you want, because you're going to throw those stock away for whatever stack you get with the AR anyways, right? It's almost impossible to find something that has the 4-end stock, all this other combo stuff that you want. So you may want to do an upper plus lower, but that's entirely up to the buyer, right? And the other thing that you might want to look into for around the $1,500 mark is RRA. Questar has a bunch of those, and they have some really cool ones there as well. Yep. I'm kind of surprised that someone who has 49 guns doesn't have an AR yet.
Yeah.
It would have been, like, I think once you get to the 5 to 10 range, you should definitely be looking at an AR, because they are so much fun, and the best sporting rifle, put it that way.
I concur.
All right. So if you are offended by anything that we said tonight, like Red Wrench was, you can actually send us an email at slamfireradio@gmail.com and send it addressed to Matthew, because it's usually him that...
Yeah, it's always me that offends people. Yeah.
I'm kidding.
I don't mind.
I like to offend people too.
Yeah, I mean, you should get in on this action. It's fun.
I know. Okay. I'll try. All right. And we actually have an I can't talk.
That's
iTunes
okay.
review tonight.
Make it up as you go along.
Okay. It's Crazy Noof that sent it in to us. So he gave us 5 stars as well. And he said it's the greatest firearm podcast in the universe. Wow.
Sweet.
Yeah. Like in the universe, not in the world, in the whole entire universe. Do you know if we're the only planet with... Never mind. Okay, so the review is... Look forward to listening every week. The wealth of knowledge from the host is enough reason to listen, and the relaxed format and comic relief make it all the better. Trevor, how do you like shooting the 1911? 2 Hobbit thumbs up. So
awesome, because Hobbit thumbs are people too.
Yeah.
Hobbits' lives matter.
He has little Hobbit thumbs he was talking about. So, yeah, apparently Trevor should have been on, because he had a lot of people saying hi to him tonight.
Well, Trevor hates the listeners, so it doesn't matter.
True. Yeah. That's why he's not here.
Basically that's it.
Yeah. So if you want to send us an iTunes review, make sure that it's 5 stars, because that's what we really like.
That's all we accept, actually.
Yeah, no. We'll take 4. But we haven't gotten any yet, so that's pretty good.
We won't take 4. Stop. No. We have a perfect 5-star rating.
Our expectations here.
We are not. We want people to come into this show thinking that this is going to be amazing, and then we are going to dash their hopes and dreams.
Pretty much.
That is what we like to do here. We set the bar real high, and then we don't even jump.
No, we don't. we Speaking, never mind.
Yeah, I know where you're going with that, too. All right.
So, yeah, we had 138 5-star reviews so far, 107 from Canada. We have them from the U.S., the U.K., Australia, Lithuania, and Belgium. So any other countries that want to jump in, get it, Olympics,
I get it, because they're doing Olympics right now.
Yeah, anyways, if you want to jump in, send us a 5-star review, okay? And we'll put them on here as well. Any shout-outs, you guys?
Yeah, I've got one for Mike. Mike is our first Patreon patron, and I just wanted to thank you for helping out with hosting and that kind of thing. Now it doesn't have to come out of pocket. You know, if a couple of people chip in, we'll pretty much be done. We'll have enough for hosting. So, just wanted to thank him again for jumping in on that.
You know what we should do? We should threaten to quit if we don't get our hosting fees covered.
This is a robbery. This is a train robbery. Put the money in the Patreon account or we stop.
That's it.
Or actually, we keep going.
You know what? I was just going to say, put the money in there or else we won't stop.
You might give our money that way.
I'll pay you guys just to shut up.
Vote for your topic. Vote for more archery or more IPSC or more 3-gun. What do you think of that?
Ooh, there you go.
Yeah.
There will be some special special rewards for our Patreon supporters. We're not entirely sure what they're going to be yet. We have some ideas.
I could print up some gun accessories that would go on a Picatinny rail.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you guys don't want that.
You don't. You definitely don't.
Yeah, no, you guys don't want that.
Nope.
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 On that note,
Let's just say the Glock grip plug ain't what he printed off. Oh, crap.
yeah.
But yeah, no, we are going to have some pretty cool rewards for Patreon supporters. There'll be, I don't know, maybe these are just some ideas that we're tossing around. Nothing's concrete yet, but, maybe bonus episodes or behind the scenes looks or guest spots on the show. There's all kinds of different things. There's swag, yeah.
Swag.
Yeah.
But really, what you're doing when you help support us through Patreon, all you're doing is helping us pay our host fees or our server fees, and they're not overly expensive, but we don't want to pay them anymore. So
You're helping us get out to you.
that's it.
How's that?
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, anything above and beyond is going to be, we'll be using that to help listeners, whether it's, attend events or, things like that. So it's all going to a good cause, that's for sure.
And so Mike was our first one, so you shout out.
Yeah. Yeah, Mike's a cool
Yay.
guy. I met him at the Alberta handgun course, and he was really fun to hang out with and to meet. So it's nice whenever we can put faces to people's names. Don't get to do that very often, so.
Mm-hmm.
No, we don't. And if you do actually contribute, we'll give you a shout out as well, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep. So, yep. I had one. It was to Tracy Wilson. I just wanted to say that she did a fantastic, amazing job promoting Canadian firearms owners in a positive light. So good on her. So just shout out to her this week.
Cool.
Yeah.
I should give a shout out to Matt Doucette. He's a listener in the area here, and he invited me to the range on the weekend, but we got rained out. It turned out that it was raining that day, so we didn't get to go after all, but just saying hi, and next time it's not raining, definitely we'll be there. It'll be fun.
All right. So if join one of our National Firearms Association, like the CCFR, they'll be going on and like Tracy Wilson did, and telling everybody that we're pretty good people. So you can join the CCFR or you can join the CSSA. Any one of them, really, actually. So go out and support them because they really are supporting us. Also, check us out on Gun Owners of Canada. There's a thread there. You can leave comments there. Or you can actually listen to the show or, chat with us. So, go on over on there. And also on Facebook as well. Give us a like. We're at 1,514 right now. So, woohoo, we passed the 1,500 mark, guys.
I think it's 1,515.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
1,515,000. I think is how you say that properly.
Is it?
No.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for Trevor's head to have an aneurysm.
Explode.
Yeah, boom. What was that, Trevor? Listening to Matthew say numbers.
1,514.
Yes,
Yeah.
nailed it. That is it,
Awesome.
right there.
Excellent. Yes. We have 107 thumbs up. Really? That many already?
That's cool.
Okay. That's cool. 10 gold stars. Okay, seriously, we need some more gold stars. Trevor, he hasn't gotten any recently, and he's going to cry. He starts, work again. So we need to get the gold stars up.
Absolutely. Gold stars are important.
Yep. We also have 2 flukes, 2 manatee flippers, 2 kangaroo thumbs, and 1 safe space. So yeah, send us an email and send us also some body parts.
Yep. Huh. Not literally, please. We don't need to be on any lists, and we don't care how much you like us. Don't send us your thumb, especially if it's a hobbit thumb.
Hobbit thumb. Yes. And we're probably already on lists, you know that, right?
No doubt.
Yes, no doubt.
No
All
doubt.
right.
Christmas lists, shopping lists.
No fly lists.
All right. Any words of wisdom, you guys?
No. They came to the wrong show if you're looking for wisdom.
I had one. No, I don't.
Okay. Well, good night, everybody.
Good night.
So if you have any comments or questions for the show, please send an email to slamfireradio@gmail.com. Now go grab a gun and shoot something.
When the talking is over, it's time to get a gun.